drop. Compton in a box full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Drop Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dry. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box is here, have no fear. Pick whatever level you need in fresh gear. The basic box is $69.99. Get $132 worth of gear to shine. The custom box is $89.99. Get $180 in value with quality every time. Two are made in Compton sweatsuit, snapback cap and socks. And a bonus surprise, laying neat on top. The deluxe box is $129.99. You'll get $265 worth of Compton classics gear design. More value, more style, more Compton, more fly. Dress built for the city and hold your head high. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dropped. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Now, push on over to MICPT.com. Alright, check out the site and choose whatever you might to get the best deals for the best price. Fast shipping to just about any and everywhere you like. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dropped. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Stop, Compton in a box, get Compton in a box.
All right. Yeah. Welcome back to the MICPT.com podcast with the one and only owner of the iconic Made in Compton store. Bone, how are you today?
I'm good, and yourself?
Okay, great. Having lots of fun on Saturdays with the one and only open mic Legends Are Made in Compton auditions. And shout out to Lil G. Absolutely. Comedian Lil G.
Shout out Lil G.
Yes, indeed. So you want to share something at the top of the show here before we get to the raffle?
Oh yeah, while we fresh off that good Compton in a Box video, I like to say the Compton in a Box basic, the deal just keeps getting better. You could grab a full sweatsuit that normally hits for $132, but with the basic box, you could get it for $69.99. And that's total outfit out the door. Real Compton style, real comfort, real savings.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for sharing. And we want to get right to it. Thank you so very much. There's, some days are very busy as I go here, and there are some days are slow. I want to thank everybody that stopped by the Made in Compton store for the one and only Legends Are Made in Compton auditions, and look forward to a busier day on next Saturday. So let's get right to it. We're going to spin. Let me make sure there's no overlay. All right. And I'm going to spin here for who is the winner of the mystery box. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, how she spoken into existence. Absolutely. Congratulations to you, Star. Wow. Now, just going forward here, that is why we do that live. And thank you for your participation. And it is something too about speaking things into existence. All right. Well, because you don't know how many people have input or participated in the raffle. Absolutely. So it depends on how many you purchase, how many tickets and so forth. But of course, it is more likely, like they say, that you will win. But as you see, if we spin the wheel, and that's where it landed. But absolutely. So, and then sometimes like people say, well, if you stack them together, they're going to automatically win. I did try to spread them out. Absolutely. Wow. Shout out to you, Adamu. Yes, indeed. Thank you so very much for being such a great supporter, and to everybody that tunes into all podcasts, because we do air in the 9 o'clock hour every day. Thank you so very much. Off top. Yes, indeed. So, Bone, I'm gonna go to a quick commercial, and then we're gonna have you share. Absolutely. Also, we are back from a quick commercial break there. Bone, you want to share something for about this upcoming week?
I
Yes.
mean, I didn't hear you.
Yes, you want to share about this upcoming week, Made in Compton store. We do have daily specials, but it may be somebody's first time listening, and please share what you like to share.
Yeah, tomorrow is Snapback Sunday. All snapbacks in the store are only $25. And then Wednesday is Wild Wednesday. All t-shirts small to 5X is $25. And then we got Short Friday, where all shorts that's normally $55 or $45, plus you get a free book.
Absolutely. And then daily, we have 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Ask about the secret deal. You want to tell them about the secret deal?
Oh, yeah, from 2 to 5, just ask us about the secret deal. And we got a whole book that you can look through. We got so many deals, it's just like, it's so much.
Absolutely. That part right there. And then just to note that if you don't know already, Teddy G, people donate Teddy G's to foster care agencies. Bone and I will take a bundle of 10. Every bundle we have taken has been a amount of 10, or sometimes the representatives come to the store and pick them up. And then on behalf of Teddy G, if you can remember to share that we do that at the Made in Compton store, we love to give you something free. And he has his own table and area, meaning the personification of the one and only Teddy G for the foster care agency giveaway campaign. And with that in mind, let me share a quick commercial and about that. If this is somebody's first time, it would be maybe. I have so many commercials on some days, and then some they're not on the other day. So we'll come back to that. But this is Teddy G I want to share. There he is. How precious. And just to see him at someone's home there as well. Teddy G. And this one's for fun. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. I have to get a Teddy G into a suit or do something at the store and make it from the Made in Compton store. But happy birthday. It's the month of June. Have lots of people that are having birthdays this month. And definitely we want to speak to Happy Father's Day. Those of you that are fathers or being father figures to people, we want to know or let you know that you're appreciated at the Made in Compton store. And Bone, you can share why you created some of those things for that reason.
Yeah, well, for one, we created the robe just because I got tired of dads getting those cheap J.C. Penney pajamas and not getting, the full luxury of, being the head of the family and, making sure everything goes smooth. So I said I wanted to get him something that was real smooth. Me myself, the Made in Compton robe. And then another suggestion that came from one of the old heads in the neighborhood, Mr. Austin, rest in peace. He told me, when he go out to family functions, he need a hip flask. So he was like, Bone, if you can make that happen for me, man, I'll be a happy man. So we did some research and we found the hip flask. And that day he bought the hip flask, he brought a bottle of Apple Crown Royal and made me have a drink with him.
Wow. Nice. That sounds different. Apple Crown Royal. So that's something maybe we can talk about more of that on the Tipsy Tuesday podcast.
Oh,
Mm,
absolutely. We're gonna have to research that.
wow. That sound like that's a nice bottle too.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
it had me like my calculations was off. I had messed up with a few customers after that.
No way. No, I was talking about the look of the bottle, maybe.
Oh yeah, and it come in a purple velvet bag too.
Oh wow, because I know that gray goose that sits on the table in the middle of the store looks pretty neat. Absolutely. And we have a few of your CDs there. Just a shout out to the one and only. I know he's a father here. Shout out to Lil. Let me move
Little
this.
Larry and the Love Handles.
Thank you, Lil Larry and Love Handles. Absolutely. That's his album cover. We have to get one of his songs played on a Monday between the tracks as well for Father's Day month. Absolutely. If you will. So pretty cool. Well, we're gonna come right back with after this commercial. Check this out. You gotta love it. I mean, just the fact that what we're sharing as well. We appreciate all of you all. Definitely, this is fun. Someone put ChatGPT in here.
Imagine this, from Hub City to the world. We wear more than tees, we wear mysteries. People ordering online from overseas, buying made in Compton with nostalgia on the mind. They heard stories like these. Woke up early, snuggled in my hoodie, stepped outside, throw on that made in Compton, let them know with pride. See my OG in that Compton established in 1888. He said, youngin', know your roots, this city been great. Rolling through, see my homie in that Compton High. He a scholar and a baller, got his dreams in his eyes. I see my day ones rocking straight out of Compton. Legacy strong, yeah, the city still stomping. Step on campus at the Mingus, then slide to Centennial. Every school made kings, every queen been a general. That UCPT, like ChatGPT. We smart with the hustle, turn the dream to a plan, put the grind in the muscle. Worldwide with the name, yeah, we legends in motion. That worldwide, Compton original, sharing the notion. Not like us from Compton. Shout out to King Kendrick Lamar. He's more than a star. From the east to the west, lift your hat up. Made in Compton, yeah, we stand up. Walking through the city of Compton. Love in the air, every stitch in my teeth. Yeah, the struggle is there. That Compton All Stars came from consistency and childhood dreams. We ain't chasing the fame, we've been chasing dreams. Now we strategizing to help each other's dreams manifest. They see the logo, they respect what we do. From the hub to the globe, we stay pushing it through. No matter where you at, let them know where you from. When you rock, made it Compton, then you already won. Yeah, this ain't just fashion, it's sometimes a mystery. It's culture, it's Compton. Wear it loud, wear it proud. Order online, made it Compton. It's the brand, standing on business. Community culture, focus on tapping that app on micpt.com. Compton, baby.
All right now. Boom. Now today, we're talking about the power of being made in Compton, turning your story into your brand. People have got a chance to walk through, learn more about the Media Hub, another place to showcase talent, to share perspectives, to dance, to do comedy, do skits, and so forth. So, you want to share more about the one and only Made in Compton Media Hub?
Yeah, the media hub is where you turn your voice into opportunity, where you get a chance to step into a real studio built from the heart of the city, built from the culture. Bring your ideas to life, whether you're recording a podcast or laying down some serious vocals or creating content. This is where it happens.
Absolutely. And with that in mind, just also know that every person has a story. Some stories, they're told through music, and there's a recording area there as well. And okay, some people, they share through their clothing, how they mix and match everything and put accessories with them and so forth. There's also some that express themselves and tell their stories through books, or they share their perspectives. It's not just like their story from a child to an adult and everything they've been through. Maybe it's simply a book to motivate other people or future generations, or to inspire people, or just to be able to put their thoughts on paper. And maybe it's the first time, so that way they can get you know ready to dig deep into those feelings from way back to the present day. So but just knowing that through podcasts, there's a podcast area inside the media hub as well, and we do edify businesses. That's just a reminder, this is the business podcast for the Made in Compton store. And remember, if you know someone, maybe they live afar, but we have so many people that come from different places that may be something that somebody can use. So please, by all means, have them mail you their business card and get it put in the bowl, if you will, as well. Okay, so but just knowing that stopping by to support a future legend, you just never know who they are. And I know, of course, like back in the day, Bone has his stories too, because come on, he's a Factor House record man. And I know I did radio back in the day, and it's just some things you just don't know. And I'm so glad I told some people, like you need to, pretty much find somebody that, knows all of this information, because I was just starting out, and I just felt like it was in other people's best interest to find somebody that was well endowed, if you will, with resources and activities that they can hone in order to gravitate to higher states in their flight as an entrepreneur, as a rapper, as a singer, as an actor, and so forth. And then, of course, along the way, then I became the acting coach and did all the table reads, and I became the resource to help people to get their music videos done and so forth. But at least I was honest, in the beginning. And I know that I don't know where those people are. Some I do know, but it's just the matter of like I'm glad I kept it 100 in the beginning. I just said that it was their best interest to, find somebody that can coach them and do different things. And I just didn't know. For some people, like they say, you could miss a bag when you don't know. That's true. So you stay studying, stay learning. But the best thing I feel like is your integrity stays intact when you told the truth that you just don't know at that time, or you don't feel equipped enough to take somebody under your arm and help them on this journey that they need to go. Until you feel that way, then you're doing a person just due versus a disservice. And so, and maybe that just comes from my background of being a teacher. Look, that part, that math and that Excel, and like they say, Excel is not even really needed even these days. I always said that's not my strength right there, but I can do this literacy part over here, the history, this language arts and so forth. But I've always did that. So it's one of those things, just to know that your story, whether is somebody else's weakness or somebody else's strength, is what your story is your story. So and then the way you think is just the way you think. Like, your thoughts may change after a while. We get that. And I heard that before too, when people said, oh, I don't really want to write a book because I might not think the same way when I get older. So they plan on writing one book And now I'm just like, why? Why? You can write a poem about different textures in the world, if you will. And that's just using, just descriptive words and so forth. So at any rate, I've been trying to persuade people to write a book for a long time. And now that I found that there's many more readers because of these things, like they say, sometimes or they put limitations on themselves and say, no, I don't want to do that right now because I just want to write about this or I want to do about that. But and then a lot of people that I talk to, they never even thought about writing more than one book. They think when you hear author and then it's just one book, but an author can have more than one book. But then there is this thing about some people say, no, I don't want to be a serial author. Well, you have to start at one thing, if you want to. But in this day and age, like they say, it's something about having more than one stream of income. And if it's at all possible, if you're working a job, that you want to have something that's called passive income, or like to talk about residual income, but something that you can put a link on social media and it's a possibility somebody may click on it, or many people will click on it and purchase your books online while you're working your other job. It's just amazing just to take a few hours it could, or even if it's a few days, or even if it's a few months, but a few years to write one book. And I know it's because I've written many books too, and I can, with the assistance with Chat GPT and this AI, since like people want, I need to know since the 500 books, because that's what I started with. But it's possible, and that's why I said it's just something like riding a bike. Some people look at it like, wow, I don't know if I could do that. Or driving a U-Haul truck or a diesel. Wow, that's a big car. I don't know if I could do that. I don't want to do that. But until you do it, then it's like, oh wow, okay, I can do this. So it's just about sometimes that first thing, getting on a roller coaster. But I just want to put that out there because this is the Made in Compton's business podcast. And of course, we have more viewership on the Bone with Friends podcast that airs tomorrow. So I definitely want you all to know that that's probably another reason why the one and only Bone has written a book, because I did persuade him, but it didn't take long, because he was like, wow, this is, makes sense. He's a businessman, he's an entrepreneur. But then at the same time, along the way, which he can speak to about, what the experience was like, though. And then thereafter, his second book, and working on a third book right now. So you want to share, Bone?
Yeah, I want to tell them about that Media Hub. Well, if you need footage, we got you. If you need clip editing for short form content, we got you. You need podcast placement on Compton Channel 12, we got you. You need the green screen room, we got you. You need to capture content for social media, guess what? We got you. Open mic access at the Compton Club. It isn't just a studio, it's a movement. It's a place where creators and entrepreneurs and artists and first-timers come to build a brand and a legacy. Walk-ins are welcome, reservations are recommended. Create it, record it, publish it, and profit from it. Be seen, heard, and be remembered.
Absolutely. Give a round of applause. That's deep. Absolutely, because that surely makes it easier. Because all you have to do is talk. And it's not like just talk about it, but you can get some assistance. We have an engineer. If you're doing music, have an engineer. If you're doing podcasting, or you need somebody that's just to be in there with you when you're changing wigs, if you will, or just changing different scenes, and you just need somebody to follow you around with the camera for that hour, whether you do an hour or 2 hours, we have an engineer for that as well. So just knowing that you want to get some content out there, whether it's on paper or is a visual or it's recorded, for a song for later. I mean, in that green area as well. If you want to be anywhere in the world, you can put that on a backdrop. Absolutely. If you ever want to be on stage, you got a chance to step up on stage, and there's that stool, the famous scene, a stool and a microphone. And at this day and age, yes, we have USBs. And back in the day, I'm not sure what they utilize, but just knowing that it's accessible and you have an audience and have a place to put your props if you're bringing props there as well. If you want to create a scene on stage, there's some objects there, table, chair. You can create a scene right there that's available to you. You don't have to bring a fold-up chair or table. It's right in there. But I mean, you can get so creative in that media hub, and it's just another one of those things that is called that it affects your analytics, and it can help you to connect with people that are very visual, because 70%, like they say, 70% people are more visual than they are auditorial. And definitely people will rather watch than read something. And to each his own. But for the most part, I have to get the statistics, but most people seem to want to watch versus read a book, just like most people will prefer to watch their favorite show than to read about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that.
So, but just knowing those options are available, and it's almost like, remember that the basketball all around the world. So this station, that station, that station. Absolutely. And just put it all in the basket. And once you record it, whether it's comedy or it's your one man or one woman show, or it's your just like having fun. What was that today? We just did improv. Or whether it's just having fun, having an outlet to express yourself and to utilize time, make it productive, or whether it's recording a song, or maybe you're working on a whole a record, or another alias. It's so much to do with the podcast area. Is recorded for documentation purposes, for your presentation, for your new product, merchandise. It could be your book. Absolutely. But just knowing that they can all connect is what I'm saying. Just like all in the net right there. Swoosh. Let's go. It's another place. Not to say it's the only place, just sharing that it's another platform, shall we say. A platform. Some people forget that these platforms, they cost as well. It takes time. I mean, it's coordinating schedules with engineers and so much more. But it's something about the camaraderie, the communication, just definitely being able to have a place to express yourself when life runs so fast, and so sometimes it could be disgruntling and frustrating, and all those things that come with, sometimes, like they say, working a regular job, or sometimes being in an environment when people don't understand you, or they want to be understood but they don't know how to communicate, and all those type of things. It's an outlet is what I'm getting to. Is definitely an outlet, something to look forward to. So please share with somebody about the Made in Compton Media Hub. That's free on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Right there, the Made in Compton store across streets are Alondra, Willowbrook. And if you've been there already, thank you so very much. Once again, here's a flyer if you've never seen this. And because sometimes I know these podcasts run through other streams and other platforms too. So I just want to let you know, it's called Legends Are Made in Compton Auditions. And the honorary host is the one and only comedian Lil G. And the store owner, producer, author, creator, fashion designer. He does custom tees, podcasts, or so much more. The one and only that's right here online, and you can tap into him 424-232-3389. Leave a voicemail if you will, or give them a call. We're at the store every day. That's the number you find online. It's very transparent. Yep. Boom.
Yeah, and if you like to own the airwaves, tap into real listeners and real culture and real influence, advertise on our selected podcast airing Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, where you can broadcast whatever you want to promote for just 50 cents a second. And you control the message, the vibe, and the reach, whether it's a quick shout out or a full commercial. Put your business in front of a loyal, engaged audience.
Absolutely. And with that in mind, we have one more situation that we'd like to share today. Is a situation that some people know that we have books on the shelf. I just want you to know there are still children. They range from, the little kids. Absolutely. I'm talking about they can barely reach the books, but they're interested in those books because they know what they are. If you would like to purchase a book, you don't even read a book, you don't want to write a book, if you don't mind, you can donate and let people know about donating for a next child. Though there are children that literally come in the store, but like the parents say, I just came in here for this, I just came in for that. I didn't even know we were going to see some books in here. We're coming for t-shirts. I got to get over here and that type of thing. So we just want to help out with the parents, and we appreciate everybody coming in. It's definitely a family oriented store. So that's the other way that we want to help with literacy in the one and only world. Okay. So, and I wanted to say that CPT, but we have more than, the content that we service. Absolutely. So just want to say for the world, because we do have people traveling from abroad that bring children to the store too. And it's not everybody that comes from abroad, just have lots of money and, whatever the child wants, they get. So it would be another way to help support a child that wants their very own book, because they really don't get their own books per se, just because they go to school. They get those books that they have to use and have to deal with. Sometimes that's not always, in their best interest, for their learning style. And some people, because it's young children that want to read an older book, that is on the level, not like it is just only for adults, but something that's historical as well. Like a shout out to all the authors at the Made in Compton store. Just knowing that is summertime, and it would be neat that if every child read one book over the summer, at least that would be cool. All right. Well, with that in mind, Bone, we are going to conclude today's podcast, unless you have something else you want to share.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell them about the 405 traffic jam. It's available Sunday through Friday between 4:15 and 4:50. And for $5, you can get 4 or 5 minutes on the Compton Club stage. And you could do whatever you like. You could do spoken word, you could do comedy, you could do poetry, you could rap, you could sing, you could dance. It's totally up to you. And everything will be live streamed. So you will be connected with people online. And it will be just a great experience. So come by if you got something to say or you want to make people laugh, think, or feel. Step up to the show and straight out of Compton, the Compton Club.
Yes, that part right there. Lots of fun in there. Yeah, and then just really quick, I just want to see, there was this flyer. We want to shout out the one and only Hub City Legend newspaper, Alonzo. He's another one of our Alonzo Williams. He's another one of our authors in the Made in Compton store. Also, the owner, director, producer, editor of the Hub City Legend newspaper. Yes, indeed. And just a huge thank you, big thank you to the LA Hood Life Tours. Once again, they bring people from around the world to the Made in Compton store, all the way from Hollywood, after they have driven and share great information as a resource about South Central LA, and have them take pictures with murals, famous murals, as well as get something to eat and travel by New School, Compton High School, and so many more landmarks in the city of Compton, as well as come to the Made in Compton store for souvenirs, and on to Watts to see about the Watts Towers and other parks along the way back to Hollywood. So shout out to LA Hood Life Tours. You have family coming in town, is definitely a nice trip. A nice, like you think about field trip or a journey within the city. Greater Los Angeles area is pretty cool. Great tour guide too. All right, so once again, a friendly reminder, it is Father's Day month, and we definitely have those right there, the drinkware. All right, everybody. Well, until next time, please remember to subscribe and ring the bell, select all, because we podcast on different subject matter, it's a different type of show every night of the week from the Made in Compton store. So like tomorrow is Bone with Friends. He has a guest on there, and this one is a faceless podcast, but tomorrow is a podcast with faces. All right. So once again, thank you to everybody that's been supporting the Teddy G campaign to donate a Teddy G to a foster kid. We appreciate you. And until next time, everybody, I will support that. Shout out to Gregory Dudley here. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Absolutely. All right. He will support that. We appreciate all that. Let me give you a round of applause. That's what I'm trying to go back here to. Yay! Thank you so much. We want to celebrate everybody. All right. Until next time, everybody, have a great time.
Up or get it dry. Compton in a box full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Drop Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dry. Compton in a box full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box is here, have no fear. Pick whatever level you need in fresh gear. The basic box is $69.99. Get $132 worth of gear to shine. The custom box is $89.99. Get $180 in value with quality every time. Two are made in Compton sweatsuit, snapback cap and socks. And a bonus surprise, laying neat on top. The deluxe box is $129.99. You'll get $265 worth of Compton classics gear design. More value, more style, more Compton, more fly. Dress built for the city and hold your head high. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal on top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dropped. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Now, push on over to MICPT.com. Alright, check out the site and choose whatever you might to get the best deals for the best price. Fast shipping to just about any and every way you like. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box, order Compton in a box. Compton in a box, best deal off top. Compton in a box, pick it up or get it dropped. Compton in a box, full of hat, shirt, socks. Compton in a box, rep the city on your block. Compton in a box, won't cost you a lot. Compton in a box, made in Compton non-stop. Compton in a box, get Compton in a box. Compton in a box.